The game's called Bloody Boobs. Bloody Boobs is just the latest one of those games that you see it on Steam and you wonder how in the heck does this even exist and at any price whatsoever. The game is marred with a ton of problems, very bare bones gameplay, and it's pretty much just banking on the fact that it's called Bloody Boobs, has lots of boobs, and thus should get your money. It has nowhere on it that it's an early access title, though it feels like it's not only an early access title, but like an early access title. The developer is still working on some things and going to release some patches in the near future, so hopefully there will be some improvements, but overall, I don't think really much is going to save this game. The game has you playing as a random female character who has pretty much nothing on, though there's not actual full-blown nudity in the game, and your goal is to run around the dungeon and pray or activate 4 different shrines in order to successfully escape the dungeon. To stop you from completing your goal, there are some monsters that will run around and slash you, but you have no way of actually preventing these monsters from attacking you, so you're not able to fight back or anything, though you do have the ability to flip them off. Even though you can jump right in, you can also create your own character, give it a name, and change a few things. There's a handful of hairstyles, only 2 faces as of right now, 4 different boob sizes, as well as a few skin tones, and 2 clothing options. Also, one of the clothing options doesn't seem to have any alternate colors, even though you're able to go through the thing and select from one of 6 different color schemes for it. There's also a few different hair colors for you to pick from as well. In fact, there's probably more hair colors than anything else as far as the other options are concerned. When you boot the game, you get a very brief glimpse at the controls. There's no way to bring this back up, so make sure you pay attention or screenshot it or close the game and reopen it if you want to see what the controls in the game are. You can adjust a couple of things in the options, but there's nothing but the keyboard and mouse support. No controllers are allowed, and there's only a handful of options anyway. The game has 1 life, 1 death. There really isn't any story. There's not multiple levels. It's just the base dungeon that you get to run around in. Find the 4 altars, and the game's over. Of course, with a game like this, the whole point is the fan service itself, which it doesn't even do that all that well. With not a whole lot of customization, the physics being a little bit iffy at best. Honestly, the only thing I thought was kind of funny in the game was you can go first-person perspective and then look down at your character's breast. That really is the only kind of funny thing about this title. The game does feature an online mode, though. If there's going to be any fun, it's probably going to be with this. You can either do just with the girls, or girls and monsters being controllable, with you playing as like the monster and trying to chase down your friends and try to take them out before they get to the 4 altars. This may be enjoyable if you have anybody else on your friends list that has the game, or you can actually get on when there's other people on, though when I got on, no one else was playing. But you could still boot the game up in monster mode and run around, so I was able to control the monster, which honestly didn't control all that well, and probably really isn't that fun either. From the technical side of things, the game's an absolute mess. It was very dark, really hard to see. I had to turn the brightness all the way up in order to see anything that was going on. The controls themselves were relatively clunky. Not being able to adjust things and being able to use a controller would have just been nice, but not, I guess, something I should have expected from something like this. The mouse had all kinds of problems where, like, sometimes it would control my camera, other times it wasn't working at all. I would either have to exit the game or hit the escape key and bring up the menu and then go back into the game, and then all of a sudden my mouse started working again. Interacting with objects barely functioned. A lot of times I had to be really away from the object in order to get it to work. Enemy hit detection is all over the place. Enemies hitting me through walls or hitting me from a long distance away. Nothing really worked in this title. Bloody Boobs is available for $2.99 on Steam currently, and there's about 1 million things on this planet you should spend $2.99 on instead of getting this game. It's not even worth a curiosity. I'm sure there's plenty of gameplay footage out there. Just look at that if you're interested at all. Just avoid this title at all costs. In the end, though, I'm giving it a 1 out of 10. You may ask, why not a 0? Well, the game is called Bloody Boobs, and when you get a game over, you see a screenshot of boobs covered in blood. So at least it delivered on that. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.